Well, the Braves took care of business last night. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Philly Sensitive Videocast recap on last night's first game of the World Series between the Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros, as the Braves defeat the Astros on a final score of 6-2 as they win the first game of the World Series and now a 1-0 series lead. Now, guys, before I get into this video, please subscribe if you haven't not yet. Please hit the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So the Braves got off to a rocking start in last night's ball game, right? Jorge Soler with a lead-off home run, right? I mean, they just came out swinging early, right? I mean, they got off to the early lead and didn't look back. Of course, there was some bad news last night for the Atlanta Braves. Of course, Charlie Morton was hit by a sharp ground ball from Yuri Gurriel. And then Charlie Morton stays in the game by striking out McCormick and then getting Martin Maldonado to line out the first base. And then he comes back out for the bottom of the third, strikes out Jose Altuve. Then he was taken out, right? Of course, he was kind of limping after that. I gave Charlie Morton a ton of credit for continuing to pitch with a broken leg. How in the world do you do that? I give that guy a lot of credit. That is not easy to do, right? Of course, he did eventually come out of the game, but man, oh man, of course, the Braves are without him for the rest of this World Series, but he did get him this far, right? I mean, even in the short appearance he had last night, he was very, very good. So it's a shame for the Atlanta Braves, it's very, very unfortunate for them, but despite him leaving the game, not much really changed, right? I mean, the Braves bullpen took care of business to pick up the scoring summary. In the top of the first inning, Jorge Soler homers on a fly ball to left center field. That ball was smoked, his first of the postseason. And it's now 1-0 Atlanta here in the first, right? So they got off to a rocking start off of Astros, one of their many, good pitchers in this rotation, Framber Valdez, right? Who had a very, very good season. So 1-0 Atlanta. Then Austin Riley adds to this lead here in the bottom of the first as he doubles on a short line drive to center field. Ozzie Albies comes around to score, and it's now 2-0 Braves. So Ozzie Albies' speech, we all know how speedy he is. Then at the top of the second inning, with runners on second and third, Jorge Soler hits a ground ball to Carlos Correa, and he throws it over to Alex Bregman as they get in a rundown with Jock Peterson. They tag him out, but meanwhile, Travis d'Arnaud scores from third as it's now 3-0 Atlanta. So good job right there from Jock Peterson to try to, waste some time. Of course, he knew he kind of was like the sacrifice, in that spot. Of course, Jorge Soler did reach first base, but that went down as a fielder's choice RBI. Jorge Soler's second RBI at the ballgame at that point, so 3-0 Atlanta. Now we pick it up top of the third inning. Adam Duvall, man, this ball was smoked. Absolutely smoked as he homers on a line drive to left field, and it's now 5-0 Atlanta. So the Braves off to a 5-0 lead here just in the top of the third inning. This was something unbelievable, right? I mean, the Braves offense was just coming out swinging. It was coming out swinging. They had to be feeling good at this point of the ballgame. 5-0 Braves. Then we pick it up, bottom of the fourth inning. The Astros finally got on the board as Chas McCormick hits a pretty sharp ground ball to Dansby Swanson over at short. We all know how good not just the Braves, but both of these teams' infields are, of course, defensively as well. And Dansby Swanson just could not pick it, right? Of course, I mean, you could see the replay of the ball coming to his gloves. He almost looked like he smacked it. He's trying to, close the ball on his glove. He just had that hand come down too early. Smacked the ball and went to his left. And went into, shallow, left center field, and not very deep. But that did allow Kyle Tucker to come around to score as the Astros finally got on the board now, 5-1 ball game. So Yuri Gurriel moved up to third, so that did go on as a fielding error on Dansby Swanson. At the top of the eighth inning, the Braves get this run back as Freddie Freeman hits a towering fly ball out to right field to Kyle Tucker. The throw home wasn't anything spectacular. I mean, a good throw definitely would have got him. That was just a very gutsy play for the Atlanta Braves right there, but he manages to get his hand in there, right? Avoids the tag from Martin Maldonado. Of course, the Astros challenged it, but Dansby Swanson was able to get in there and score. So it was very, very close. I'm going to say it again, not a very good throw from Kyle Tucker, as it's now 6-1 Atlanta. Then we pick it up, bottom of the 8th inning. The Astros get a little closer as Carlos Correa grounds out to second base, and Yordan Alvarez comes around to score as the Astros get a little closer, now just down by 4, a 6-2 ball game. That'd be your final score. The Braves take Game 1 of the 2021 World Series. Freddie Freeman, definitely the Chipper Jones type vibe, right? He gives off that Chipper Jones vibe. I've talked about that before. Kind of like that team leader, the team captain. He has it all going on, right? He has it all going on. But Jorge Soler getting it started off early, right? With that solo shot, also with that RBI ground out. And Eddie Rosario, kind of an under the radar type of player in this game. He managed to collect 2 hits as well. So a guy that really wasn't talked much about. It scored one of the Braves runs on that. Adam Duvall, 2-run shots. Of course, Adam Duvall definitely smoked that ball, as I talked about before. But as goes for the Houston Astros, not a whole lot of offense, right? But how about Michael Brantley collecting 3 hits, right? He was hitting them to right field. He's hitting them to left field, right? I mean, he was hitting to all fields. That guy's always been a hit machine. And Jose Altuve, a guy who has always been a good hitter in the postseason. Throughout his whole entire career, he's one of the few players to have 20 home runs in his postseason career. I mean, that is just insane. He has not really been there for the Houston Astros this postseason. I believe I recall this, 2 years ago when I was covering the 2019 playoffs, right? Alex Bregman was that guy who really wasn't there for the Houston Astros 2 years ago. So the Astros, they need to heat up, right? I mean, if you're a Houston Astros fan, they have to heat up. And Alex Bregman has never been the kind of guy who hits one in the postseason, right? With a .233 career batting average in the postseason. But this year's hit .256, a little bit better, of course. But Kyle Tucker, as I talked about, recapping the championship series against the Boston Red Sox, right? I talked about how well he's done. But the Braves definitely bested the Houston Astros last night. So you go take a look at Charlie Morton's start. 2 1/3, 1 hit. Didn't allow any runs, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts, right? So it's amazing, right? He faced 3 more hitters until he's taken out of the game. So he faced 3 hitters on a broken leg. How do you do that? That's got to take some guts, right? I mean, I give Charlie Morton a lot of credit for doing that. And A.J. Minter came in 2 2/3 innings of relief, and he was very, very solid, right? He's very solid, despite allowing that fielder's choice, that Dansby Swanson, booted ball, like that fielding error. Despite that, he was very, very good. Of course, that wasn't a run for him. The Braves bullpen, man, I mean, we talk about how, well it has done. This postseason's been very good. And it showed times, in the regular season wasn't very good, especially in the first half. But as we talked about in the, NLCS series recap, this doesn't really come as all much of a surprise, right? I said this is anybody's game, right? And I don't really know if I really had much time to talk about that in that video. But you know what? I think the Braves are somewhat being overlooked, right? I mean, this is a team, of course, prior to them having Charlie Morton, of course. Of course, they don't have the rest of the World Series, but still, I mean, and they still got Freed, they still got Anderson. I mean, they're going to be just fine. And of course, they were able to, snag Game 1 of the World Series, which already gives them an advantage. But this is a team that I think is just very underrated, right? I mean, I underestimated these guys. I did. I kept pushing Mickey Mouse Division, Mickey Mouse Division, Mickey Mouse Division. And yes, the NL East is just weak, right? It's just very weak. Of course, the Phillies, just didn't have it. We all know that, of course. I went the whole, marathon with 162. The Mets fell apart. The Nationals are rebuilding. The Marlins are rebuilding. But the Braves, man, I mean, they just had a really, really rough first half of the season. I mean, of course, right? And it didn't look like things were going to get any better after the loss of Ronald Acuna Jr. But like I talked about, Indianapolis didn't, hang his head down in the sand. He got the job done, right? He went out and fixed that outfield mess. Went out and talked to the Cubs and got Jock Peterson. Went out and got Adam Duvall back from the Miami Marlins. I mean, it just had a complete steal with the Cleveland Indians, as I talk about. You're trading away, Pablo Sandoval, who was DFA'd immediately upon his arrival to Cleveland. That was just a steal of a trade right there. We were able to get Eddie Rosario just for that, for nothing, right? I mean, he was cut immediately. When he arrived in Cleveland, Pablo Sandoval. So, he made a lot of smart moves, and I give him a lot of credit for not selling. And of course, Jose Soler, I mean, another good pickup for Antonopoulos. You go take a look at Flamber Valdez on the Houston Astros. 2 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, all 5 were earned, 1 walk in, 2 strikeouts. I mean, he just got hit around, right? I mean, the first hitter that he faced in this game. Jorge Soler knocked it out of the park. So it didn't start off good at all, right? I mean, it just was a really just bad start. But how about Jake Odorizzi, right? Striking out 5 in just 2 1/3 innings out of the bullpen. I mean, he was very, very good. A guy that didn't do, all that great in the championship series. He looked very, very good in this game. As I talked about, I forgot to mention Charlie Morton pitching against a team that he won the World Series with in 2017, where he's pitching against a squad he's very, very familiar with, right? I mean, he's very, very familiar with this team, of course. So it's going to be very fun to watch. The rest of this series, right? The Braves definitely got the win here. Anytime you go out and win on the road, it's impressive, right? I mean, anytime you go out and win on the road, it's impressive, especially in the World Series, right? And as I read an article this morning, it's almost like they already claimed the home field advantage, right? I mean, they're on the road, they won, they snagged that game on the road. Anytime in the playoffs, especially in the World Series, you're able to snag a win on the road, that is a huge advantage. It gives you the upper hand. So the Braves already have, kind of proved my point. I think they're going to win in 7 games. Right? I kind of gave that prediction in the comments. I don't have much time to talk about it, but they have momentum right now. They are hot. It's about who gets hot at the right time. It just reminds me so much of the 2019 Washington Nationals. It just reminds me so much. The Nationals lose Bryce Harper. They win the World Series. The Braves lose Ronald Acuna Jr. They win the World Series. So, of course, they haven't won yet, but I do think they will. But honestly, don't get the Astros out either, right? I do think the Astros could definitely win this. This is not over for them. This is not over for them, right? Of course, losing Charlie Morton for the Braves hurts, and it definitely does, especially when it does come, later in the series. Once you get to that, the Game 5s of the world, the Game 6s of the world, especially the Game 7s of the world, it definitely becomes much more challenging to get, better starting pitching around that time. And, other guys are tired. Of course, you do get the days off on the traveling days, but it's going to become a challenge for them. But like I told you about, they still have Free, they still have Anderson. I think they're going to be fine, right? If they could, rest that bullpen, I think they're going to be just fine. But the Houston Astros, they got to come out swinging tonight. I mean, what needs to change? They need to come out swinging tonight against Max Fried. He wasn't all that spectacular in the championship series. So if they want a chance of winning, they got to get good starting pitching tonight from Jose Urrutia. So I definitely think Kenny had a 3.62 ERA in the regular season. Of course, Max Fried on the mound for Atlanta. So 8:09 the first pitch tonight on Fox Sports. So the Braves win the first game of the 2021 World Series and lead the series 1-0. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn on the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section. At Philly Sansto of Instagram, TikTok, Instagram, call or text 267-225-3392. Email me, phillysansive@gmail.com. So guys, thank you for watching. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to y'all later. I'll see you again.